everybody, welcome to the channel. I want to talk a few minutes about a Epiphone Texan FT79 that is from the Masterbilt lineup. I've had this guitar now for about 3 or 4 months. I've had it a while. I haven't mentioned it on the channel because frankly I don't like it. Okay. And so I played it for a little bit, tried to give it a chance. I do not like this guitar. I'm also puzzled by some specs on this guitar that disappoint me a little bit. Nice tuners. You can see they've got these Gibson style of tuners on the back. Notice I didn't say they were Gibson. I said they were Gibson style. It is a mahogany back and side, solid, according to the specs, and a Sitka spruce top, which looks pretty good. Okay. Nice tortoiseshell coloring on the pickguard. It's got Indian Laurel on the fretboard, Indian Laurel bridge, which you know I have no issue with. I've talked about this before on the IBG lineup. Mahogany neck. It's got everything it should have. It's got almost a nitrous finish on it. Feels like to me, okay? But I don't like this guitar. It's one of those that I really should have played before I picked it up, but I got a good buy on it. And so, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad guitar. I think it's a nice guitar. And it's well built. It's well constructed. I can't tell you that it's not constructed really well. It is not poorly constructed. Time and effort went into this guitar. But when I play this thing, first of all, the frets are a problem to me. There are times when I can't get over a fret and that I'm used to getting over, you know. So I'm not sure that they did the right thing on these frets. Now, could that have been the luthier that was working with this one? It could have been, but I'm so unimpressed I don't want to try a second one. How's that? I don't like the sound of this thing either. For a spruce top mahogany guitar, this thing is awfully bright. It's too bright almost. I don't like that. The nut width, I haven't measured it. I probably should have measured it before I did this, but I promise you it's not 1 3/4 inches. If it is, something's something strange. The frets were done, the fret ends are done really decent, I would say. I don't know that I'd say they're fantastic, but pretty good job on the frets. These are mother of pearl inlays on these parallelograms. Like I said, it's got all of the appointments you would want on a guitar. And it looks like you should be able to pick this up and do really well with it. You know, the Epiphone Frontier, which I don't have, but they build that at Gibson as well, right? And they build this Texan. They did Gibson has done a version. Well, they've got the Epiphone name on it, but it's done there in Bozeman, Montana. And you can tell by the headstock. You can just look at the headstock and tell where these things were made. You don't see this headstock coming out of Montana. When Montana does it, they've got a Gibson headstock on it. It'll say Epiphone, but you can tell by looking at the headstock. It's your classic Gibson headstock. This one, it has everything it should have. But folks, it ain't doing it. You know what I mean? It's just not there. there is not one thing about this guitar from a sound standpoint, in my opinion. I don't know that I'd have paid $100 for this guitar. Somebody said, you know, try this out. If you like it, I'll sell it to you for $100. I don't think I'd have bought it. And there's nothing wrong with the annotation. But folks, this is not an Epiphone Texan that I would be accustomed to hearing, you know. Now, I don't expect the... I'm struggling a little bit with this video because I can't find a bad word to say about Epiphone on any of, well, I say on any of, I'll just say the Epiphone Excellente is a Masterbilt, right? And it is an outstanding guitar. The Inspired by Gibsons are mind-boggling quality coming out of Indonesia, and they ruined me. All right, they have ruined me for guitars and my expectations from an Epiphone. But you know, even Gibson and Martin have built some clunkers in their time. So maybe I'll just go down that road. Epiphone, in my opinion, here is built to clunker. I do not like this guitar. And the sad thing is, it has everything you would want in the build on a guitar. On a mahogany back and side Sitka spruce top. This has exactly what you would need in it. And I don't know, this thing looks awfully thin to me. Triple O size, pretty much, as far as the width goes on this body. The body does taper down, and maybe that's where the answer is. But it could be in the bracing, you know. It's got a Fishman sonotone in it, one that requires not like a 9-volt battery. I hate those things. Don't like them anyway, but I'm not crazy about electronics and acoustic, but I'm even less crazy about that. But this guitar just, if ever there's been a guitar that just did not hit me in my hands, this is it. Aww. And the thing is, by all rights, I got a heck of a deal on it. Really nice case that it came in. It was well maintained and taken care of. But I now suspect that who I bought it from didn't like it either. I don't think they were just thinning out guitars. They just... I can't imagine anybody picking this up and liking it. And look, I'm not the spokesperson for what's good and what's not good, but I don't like this one. I can tell you that. The Epiphone Texan FT79 from Masterbilt, the Masterbilt factory. I assume it is. I actually saw specs earlier that said this thing was made in China, which doesn't say anywhere on the guitar that it was made in China. But I looked at 2 specs that called it out made in China. Now, unless Epiphone's making Masterbilt in China, I don't think so. I think this gets tied to the old Samick factory in Indonesia. Unless somebody that's watching this video wants to correct me. And they did build some Masterbilts in China, let me know. But if I would... I don't like this guitar. Have I said that yet? I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this video. I don't even like playing this thing. I'll sell it locally so that they can come over and play it and see if they like it. But I don't like this guitar. I don't think it frets well. decent sustain on the guitar. How it feels when you play it, there's just something uncomfortable about it. I don't have another guitar like that, and I got like 15 guitars in here, folks. I had a Texas, an old boy that's on the Texas country circuit down here. Jake Bush, that's who it is. Contact me, wanting to trade me a Epiphone USA made Texan when I had a J200 Parlor, which was a semi-rare guitar, you know what I mean? And he wanted to trade me an Epiphone Texan. So now I'm wondering, is it something to do with the Epiphone Texan itself? Now, I've heard David Hayes with his Texan, and that guitar sounds fantastic. And probably that's not why Jake wanted to trade me that. He probably wasn't trying to just get rid of it. I think he desperately wanted that one I had because it was a pretty rare guitar, and it was a pretty stunning guitar as well, and I could still kick myself for selling it. Sold it to an old boy in Fort Worth. This thing does not speak to me at all, folks. Not at all. I'm not going to waste any more of your time with it. I did want to tell you what I thought about it in case anybody's, now some of you out there may have bought this thing and you're in love with it, and that's fine. I'm in. You like it, I'm happy. But if you ask me what I think about it, I'm going to tell you, I don't like this guitar. First video I've done, folks, that I did not like the guitar, not even a little bit. The only thing I can appreciate about this guitar is how well put together it is. The attention to detail, I don't see any flaws on this thing. It is extremely well done. Sounds like, I'm not going to say that. It sounds bad. I don't like it. Okay. Take care of your friends. Take care of your family. God bless. We'll see you next time.